And you're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. And we is ready to do a show.
Ready to do a show.
Tell them surprise guest.
Hey, we got a surprise guest today. We didn't want to bring it up. We got a surprise. Rich Marotta, a Hall of Fame announcer and sportscaster. 2 Hall of Fames, right? California Boxing Hall of Fame and Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen 3, right?
3, maybe, yeah. And then he has 4 Emmy Awards. I wanted to bring him in and talk to him about the state of boxing because he is what you would call a true boxing expert. Yeah. And, you know, people get tired of hearing us fucking mouth off, so we might as well bring somebody else, right?
Somebody knows what they're
Somebody knows their shit, right? Hey, so we had a big week of boxing, man. I mean, what do you think? Not a big week, a lot of big stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, our biggest fight, I think, was Ryan Garcia. I mean, that was it this week. But next week, we got
Porter Garcia.
And after that?
You got Canelo Triple G.
They can't get nothing past you, big guy.
No.
Nothing.
And you know this.
You like my Mikey Garcia hat?
You were worried about everybody going to want that hat, and you had to tell them what it is.
Well, they know it's Mikey Garcia hat. Some of the real fans, they know.
I don't think so.
I got a bunch of them.
You do?
Yeah. You want this one? You want this one right now?
I want another one.
I only got a red one and a white and black one.
What you claiming?
I'll give you this one right off my head.
What's up, Damon? But there's some big fights.
There is.
I think we tapped on, the Danny Garcia, Porter, but I'm sure, some of these people, the listeners are going to want to tap on it again. Yeah. And we tapped on a Canelo, but going into that, I seen that you put a post, something that you got Porter now, late round stoppage.
I do have Porter with late round stoppage.
I am not totally against that. I really, if I had to bet, I would probably take Porter in a late round stoppage, but
why?
I think that...
Break that down for me, Kelly. Tell me. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm asking to tell everybody else why.
Well, what I've been saying, I just think that Porter, with anybody at the welterweight division, will give them fits. I think he's one of the top guys at that weight class.
Yeah.
Porter is the reason being he's a naturally bigger guy.
Yeah.
He really is above welterweight, 147, and he not only is he big, but he's athletic and he's physical for that size and very strong. And he could fight with the pressure on you and the amount of punches that he throws and his head in your chest. He could do that for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, he may get a little winded, but he can still do it. And people don't understand how much that takes out of the opponent, especially if you're a naturally smaller guy or if you're not a big power puncher to where you can make Porter carry those punches.
I personally think the reason he gets winded because he throws more power punches than most fighters. A lot of his shots, I don't know, tell me if you agree or not. A lot of his shots aren't those tap shots, hard shots. No, he's trying to swing for the fences throughout the fight, and that's just the way he fights.
Yeah.
And I think it makes him a little more winded. But conditioning has never been a problem for Sean Porter.
No, not at all. And again, that's what I'm saying. And he's a big guy, so if you're in good condition, you got to make sure that your conditioning is that much better against a guy like Porter, because you're going to have to be pushing a naturally big, strong body who's putting all this pressure on you for 12 rounds. You're going to have to. You're going to have muscle endurance that's out of the road.
Danny Garcia does not do well with pressure. No. As we've seen with Brandon Rios. This is a guy that's stronger than Brandon Rios, younger, and let's face it, he's a better fighter.
And another thing, Porter, what he does too, he will mix it up a little bit too, though. He will step back and box a little bit.
He will.
And then he'll go back in, head against your chest. You got to watch for the headbutts. The elbows,
the commission tape rubbing against your fucking eyes. Yeah, everything.
But Porter's a dog. I keep saying this. I think Porter at 147, there's no easy walkover for any opponent that he fights. Even if you're going to Spence is not going to take Porter out easily.
No, not at all.
Porter's a bad dude at 147.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that Porter turned pro at 165. He was a big guy.
Yeah. He
was a big guy. He was a college level athlete. I mean,
that's where we're going, athlete.
Yep. And but the things that Porter lacks in his boxing skills, he makes up in being tenacious and hard work. And heart. And I mean, I don't know. I just can't see And let's be fair, Danny Garcia cannot fight backing up. He's not a backup type fighter.
No.
He swings for the fences. He's kind of awkward. He's just not a technical guy. I think, as an amateur, if you look, he was very technical. Danny Garcia was.
Yeah.
But as a pro, he just went to shit. Like, hey, I'm just going to swing for the fences because it's worked for me. I've swung for the fences and knocked out Amir Khan.
Yeah.
I've swung for the fences and beat other guys that I should have beat.
But I still don't even think he's really that big of a power puncher either. I not at all. I don't think.
No, I think he is. I think his left hook is dynamite.
Sergio Borg says, I think this is to you. Do you think Danny's boxing skills are better than Porter?
No.
No.
Well,
I don't.
I think they're both kind of rudimentary skills. You know what I mean? But
Porter
I think
was a good am too, boxing.
well, they both were. Danny was a great amateur.
Well, yeah, but so was Porter. So I mean, it's hard to say that.
At the U.S. at the Nationals, Danny Garcia lost to Mikey in the Nationals. And then Mikey lost to Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and Sean Porter was one of Ohio's better fighters.
He was,
and
that's what I mean. Like Sean Porter, and he fought at a higher weight class.
Yeah, exactly.
And he, when you win tournaments in the amateurs, man, it's not power; it is boxing people.
Bro, I don't know if any power I've ever had in the amateurs translated. Really, it doesn't.
No.
I mean, you can get a stoppage or an RSC or sometimes get a knockout, but
for
it
me,
doesn't
one
matter.
national title was under 19s. Yeah. I fucking was stopping people like
you were making a transition at that point.
Exactly.
And you were adapting a pro style already.
Mm-hmm. But I also but then the after that though,
yeah,
the US championships,
yeah,
I stopped 2 people, but I outboxed Darnell Wilson. I mean,
who was a great fighter,
who was going for the 5th, straight national title. And
well, can I ask you this? When you started stopping people, were you starting to train as a professional at that point?
No. I think that was just everybody matures at a different.
You started getting your grown strength.
Yeah, like I said, I spent very limited time in the open division.
Your cock started filling out, right?
Yes.
And that's what happens. Yes. Your cock starts filling out. You started landing harder shots, man.
I was formed, but.
Lonnie says both are good boxers. Danny a little more finesse. Porter is just relentless. And head in your front.
But Porter could box too.
Porter can, but you know what? Porter doesn't want to. Porter can just beat you to death like that,
exactly.
and it works for him.
Yep.
Porter broke Berto's spirit from his rough inside fighting. Can Danny Garcia adjust that?
That's what we're saying.
I don't think he can. I think after seeing what he did against Brandon, which I'm going to tell you, he beat Brandon, knocked Brandon out. But that was a lucky fucking shot. No one can tell me any different. He was hitting Brandon with that right hand over and over again, and he finally landed and turned the lights out.
Exactly.
But at what cost? Danny Garcia was taking a lot of shots in that fight.
And everybody was like, oh, we knew that was coming. You guys didn't know that was coming. Nobody was expecting at that point in the fight, that stage of the fight, that Danny Garcia was going to knock out Brandon Rios. Like you said, he's done hit Brandon Rios with everything he had but the kitchen sink, and didn't even phase Brandon Rios. It was a lucky shot, not a lucky shot, but it was placed and it just fell for him. That's all.
Yeah. Virgil Ortiz is watching. Hey, Virgil, I just wanted to say one of our favorite prospects, well, my favorite prospect, Virgil Ortiz Jr., is going to be fighting on the undercard of Canelo and Triple G, which is really awesome. And the kid is becoming a monster. I've seen some of what he's been doing in sparring, and
look who he's been sparring with too.
He worked with Brandon. He's worked with Mikey. He's working with he's just working with everybody, and he's holding his own or doing better. And I don't know.
Well, I told Virgil, I believe I did. We talked a little bit on Facebook.
Yeah.
I said, one thing about going to Garcia's camp, you're not going to be short on sparring.
That's for sure.
You're not.
You'll get more sparring than you want.
Yeah. Which is good.
Oh yeah.
It is.
It is. But like I said, I think in terms of these prospects, I think the cream started to rise to the top. I mean, I love Ryan Garcia. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about Ryan. I'm just saying talent tells on this. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think what's happening is Virgil is rising to the top on this, and I think that making this whole Fernando Vargas and Oscar De La Hoya out of Virgil Ortiz and Ryan Garcia, it seems to be going that direction. If you've noticed that, they're trying to make Virgil Ortiz the next Fernando, and they're trying to make Ryan the next Oscar De La Hoya. And do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if that's the direction they go in the next couple or 2 or 3 years.
I agree with that. Garcia, to me, I just think they need to really take a little more time with.
Oh, definitely, because Ortiz would eat his ass up right now.
You know, when I say that, that's being nice too. I think the kid is. I think they're better off trying to market this kid to get him.
Well, they are. He has 1 million Instagram followers. They are marketing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But don't you think they should?
Is that his Instagram, you think, or is that Golden Boy?
No, that's his Instagram.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Golden Boy is not.
But it still translates to, you know what I mean, to Golden Boy. I mean, when you have 25,000 15-year-olds, girls at your fights. That's why I'm going on with Garcia. I think that's his big option. I think is to find a way to slide him through the rankings without getting beat. I think that's going to be a very tough job in that weight class. It's rough.
Yeah, but that's going to be a very important job for his handlers or matchmaker to do that.
Ryan Garcia needs to slow down. He's calling out Gervonta Davis. He just called out Mikey Garcia. Why? You know, why not just slow down? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, he needs to be careful that he doesn't move up a weight class and get ass raped by Virgil Ortiz.
That's what. Exactly. We got a YouTube question.
Okay. We got some questions here too. So.
Kevin Kennedy. What up, guys?
I love Kevin. Yes. Kevin, he's a good dude.
Yes, he is. He's funny. Do you think the Triple G Canelo undercard will be better or worse than the main event? I think the undercard looks fire. From what we're hearing, it's going to be a good one.
It's a good undercard. But I think Canelo and Triple G is going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be hard to live up to that main event.
I do.
Anytime you get guys that can punch and
that can take punches,
you're going to have a dynamite card.
Canelo could take a pretty good. His defense is good enough, first of all, but he could also take a shot. And you see in the first fight, some bombs were landed that would have put most other guys out. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't think it's hopefully not a quick fight.
Mike Martinez said, "What do you think about Canelo and no performance-enhancing drugs?" I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I think Canelo looks good. I saw on the show 2 weeks ago, people talking about Canelo being fat, and then some people saying he looks real skinny. That is not the pictures that I've seen or the video that I've seen lately. He looks fucking great. He's walking around about 163 right now.
Here's the problem. Society loves negativity, man. Right?
Yeah.
They love it.
Oh, yeah.
The old saying, you know, negativity sells.
Shit don't stink until you stir it, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to have people that say that. I mean, Canelo could be fucking fit as shit right now, and you're going to have the handful of people bring up this thing. Hey, look, I was the first one when we all were on the show, and I stand by that. I'm totally against it.
Yes.
Okay, any sports enhancing drugs, but
except for. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Wait, what's this? Oh, look at Sullivan. But
yeah, we'll get to that.
So, but now, I mean, it's over with. Like, he's clean. He's been doing the test, and he's coming to fight.
Yeah.
So just enjoy the fucking fight, like, because if the fight wasn't happening, you guys people would still be bitching, and then Triple G would fight somebody, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, that's horrible. Why is he fighting this fucking guy?"
He's ducking Canelo.
Yeah, he's ducking Canelo, and Canelo will go fight somebody. Oh, Canelo, you know. So like, be happy with it. I don't understand. What does it take to make people happy? I don't know.
Sergio says, I hope Triple G sodomizes Canelo. You know.
That's pretty brutal.
Well, the thing is this, Sergio, you should put what you want in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up faster.
You sodomize him. Lube or no lube?
Well, the thing is this. And then I think calling Canelo, I think that's played out. I think it really fucking is. It's played out and stupid at this point. Hey, let's call him Canelo for the next year or two.
Exactly.
I mean, look. The guys took 95 fucking tests prior, never tested positive. He's taken multiple tests and he hasn't tested negative. I don't know if he was dirty or not. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, if you're giving the guy 95 random fucking tests and he hasn't tested negative and he hasn't tested negative since, let it go.
You know damn well they're being tight on that too.
Let it go.
Hey, speaking of that though, I seen something earlier today too in a boxing group.
What's that?
On the enhancing sports enhancement drugs.
Yes.
And everybody was going, that's a little harsh to give them jail time and this.
It's assault. I
think that they should actually do a hefty amount of time, especially in a combat sport or a very physical sport like football.
It's assault. Any way you look at it. Anytime you try to get unnaturally stronger, it's assault.
Especially in boxing. You're looking at damaging somebody probably permanently brain dead for the rest of their lives, killing somebody. it is cheating. Taking those fucking enhancement drugs is cheating, and it does benefit,
Lonnie,
and it will make you better.
Lonnie says, "Stop excuses, James. Stop." Oh, you mean like your theory on Lomachenko being average, Lonnie? Those excuses? Come on, man, pull it out your ass, bro.
On what?
Oh, he's telling me to stop making excuses for Canelo. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I wasn't there, and neither was anybody else. I'm not saying he wasn't dirty. I'm not saying he was clean. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know.
Well, I do know he was dirty that he was on it for the first time when he got busted.
That's right. But what I'm saying is I'm not in that position to say, hey, how long's he been on it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying now. Like,
I know if the meat caused it? You know what? That's a pretty fucking big piece of meat. But that's not for me to keep dragging the dude down.
Well, that's my point at it right now. But it's over. He's been tested now, and he's been clean. But going on that, if they would do how, in my opinion, what they should do with the sport when people use these drugs, they should be jailed. So it should automatically be a suspension on a license because they should do time for that. It should be a federal fucking crime, an assault.
My thing, and Josh says, where's my man Connaught Jr. in the middleweight picture? Connaught is just getting over that Achilles surgery, and he's coming back soon, according to Roger Romo, his trainer. He's coming back soon. He'll be there. What's up, Bill?
What long is going on? He was dirty, though, period.
Were you there?
Well, he got busted, so
I should take Lonnie's advice.
And that would, and on that right there, that's he was dirty on that. I mean, the level so fast to meet. But hold on, but I'm saying, but now though we're talking about Lonnie, we're talking about now like he's been clean. The testing has been done. People want the fight to happen. Like if the fight happens, then what we're saying is people are going to fucking bitch about it and making it say, oh well, he's a cheater. If the fight don't happen, then people are still going to talk crap and say ignorant things. So like, there's it's a no-win situation for Canelo right now.
No,
people still want to see him fight. I mean, I bet you this fight, the numbers do terrific. You know what I mean?
Lonnie's like arguing with me when I'm not even disagreeing. I'm saying I wasn't there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. He's arguing. He's preaching the choir. I mean, I don't know. He must be bored. But you know what, though? As long as Lomachenko's still average, I'm done talking. Hey, do you think Mikey is serious about fighting Spence, or is this just to get his name known? No, he's absolutely serious. He's been in talks. I mean, he's been in talks with Errol Spence. Right now, they can't come to an agreement, and they both are talking. But right now, Mikey has a couple things in the fire. He's looking at Manny Pacquiao right now, and they're trying to figure out which is the best way to go on this. Because if Errol Spence is going to price himself out, or Mikey prices himself out, I don't know who's going to price themselves out, whatever the case is. But he needs to have a backup plan because he wants to fight in December.
Yeah, we ain't going to know what the reasoning behind that. It could be a lot of things. I mean, we can all speculate why. I actually had a pretty good theory on it, but
sometimes Triple G relies too much on the straight right hand with no jab setup, and it worries me. If I'm I don't know, but you know what? He's got what happens a lot of times with punchers. Let's face it. I'm gonna say it right now. Triple G does not have the best trainer in boxing. Abel Sanchez is overrated as fuck. And I mean, other than Triple G, and just name some world champions he's put out.
What's overrated? Like, he's a good trainer. I agree. I don't think he's the best.
No, but what I'm saying. Oh, I'm sorry.
By far, sure. I don't think he's the best.
My thing is this. When a lot of trainers, when their star fighter is getting older, these trainers tend to start speaking for their fighter, and when they do that, it causes a lot of trouble and it causes more issues. Abel Sanchez is sitting there and been Triple G's mouthpiece for how long? Running his fucking mouth, saying things that he shouldn't say, just stuff like that, and then calling Teddy Atlas out that he don't know what he's talking about with boxing. Come on, man. Whether you like Teddy Atlas or not, you can't take away the man knows the fucking sport. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what he does. And Freddie Roach has been done that for Manny Pacquiao. He started acting as a mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And it tends to happen with fighters later in their career. That's when the fighter has to grab himself by the balls and tell his trainer to shut the fuck up. Because
somebody should, or somebody in a promotional company should.
But what happens at this point? Canelo will take that shit in the ring.
But still, I mean, but how long has it been happening? I mean, you got to weigh it out. Is it really affecting Triple G? right now. It hasn't been no signs of it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you agree with it or not, I don't know. He's been doing it, though, so I don't see at this point.
Canelo Alvarez will give Gennady another boxing lesson. He never gave him a boxing lesson in the first place.
Who said that?
Furman Carrasco said that Sal.
No, he didn't.
He didn't give him a boxing lesson.
Triple G did not give him a boxing lesson.
No, Canelo. He said Canelo gave Triple G a boxing lesson.
Oh no, Canelo let Triple G win that fight. Pretty much. He and that is true. He literally Triple G did not beat Canelo. Canelo let Triple G, and that's the way in his facts. Let Triple G win that fight by fighting
on the ropes.
Yeah,
and I mean you know what? It wasn't Triple G that won that fight. It was Canelo losing that fight for himself. And I had the score 116, 112 for Triple G. I'm not gonna lie. Triple G, it could have been farther apart even. I was being generous with that other round.
Yeah, when we were breaking that down. Clearly, you could see when Canelo stayed in the middle of the ring, the fight was actually easy for him in the middle of the ring. He went back to them ropes for some reason. I don't know what he was thinking on that. And that's when Triple G, to the judges, it looked like Triple G was controlling the fight.
Yeah.
And that's when he was throwing the punches and landing to the body. Yes, Canelo landed a good counter here and there, one punch. But as soon as they go back to the middle of the ring, that's when Canelo again was picking apart Triple G.
And that's where he needs to be.
This fight, he does that.
You know, the thing is this, and I don't think I would hope that Canelo's team have got that blueprint on this fight. If you keep Triple G in the middle of the ring, where Triple G cannot back up because he can't. Most punchers can't back up and fight. It just stands to reason. They're so used to coming forward, it gets lost in translation. That whole backup, fighting out of angles, things like that, they don't do it. But what's going to happen was, and you know what? Another thing you don't see no one go to Triple G's body because they're afraid of what's going to happen when they come on the inside. Canelo
did it in the middle of the ring.
Yes, but Canelo needs to make a concerted effort to go to Triple G's body and back him up. If you can do that, he can win the fight easily. But if my sister had a dick, she'd be my brother. Do you know what I mean? It's not as easy as it looks.
Or if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle.
Right?
Right.
But for Triple G to win that fight, he needs to do what he did before. Keep Canelo's back on the ropes.
Yeah, I'm going to ask some of these. Okay, Bill Cass goes, James and Kelly, who in your opinion wins, Wilder or the Gypsy King?
I got Wilder, man.
I'm going towards Wilder. I think it's going to be a sloppy, frustrating fight. But I think Wilder pulls that one out.
Well,
Lonnie says, how does a Charlo Triple G fight end up, Kelly? Lonnie, honestly, right now, I got to go with Triple G due to the fact that I have yet to see anything out of Charlo. He hasn't fought nobody yet. I haven't seen him prove anything. I would like to really be able to get a good gauge on Charlo. I mean, we could go off the brother, who's supposed to be
154.
terrific, 154, and he struggled with a very past his prime Austin Trout.
I think Hurd beats Charlo.
I do too.
I think Hurd's just big and physical.
I truly do. I think Hurd is at 154. Nobody's really beaten Hurd. I'm sorry, it's not.
It says, who would you take in Chavez versus Benavidez? Benavidez by far.
Oh yeah.
Benavidez may comatose that fucking kid, man. Benavidez may be the best super middleweight in the world right now.
Chavez wouldn't have to smoke weed after that one.
No.
He'd already be high as bird pussy.
Am I right, though? Benavidez is getting better and better and better. When you sparred with him, you even know, and he was young.
Yeah.
16, 17.
Well, he's fucking good.
You noticed.
And he was coming down from
200
pounds. So what I'm saying by that, same thing with like Porter. These guys got the experience of fighting big, strong people. And then you're also coming down a weight now to like going, holy shit, I was just getting hit by top guys at 200 some pounds. I was getting hit by top guys at 180 some pounds. I was getting hit by top guys at 175 pounds. Now you're at 168. Benavidez is light years ahead of most of these experienced pros. He truly is.
It said, Alicia said, how many champs has Abel had?
Yeah, you're right, Lon. Charlo don't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Other Triple G, he hasn't had a lot, and that's what I'm saying. You know,
who else did he train?
Abel did well in the amateur.
Did he work with De La Hoya once for a fight?
I don't think he did much. No, did he? I thought that was he worked with Gil Clancy. He worked with Robert Alcazar. He worked with Manny Stewart.
I'm thinking of Alcazar.
Alcazar. Alcazar was a great fucking trainer. But Furman says, what elite level opponents has Gennady fought? He cleaned a fucking division out. He cleaned the 160 division out at that point. I mean,
it's who's at that weight. They may not have been the top guys, but they were top at the time.
You notice something? You see the direction Furman's going, though? A lot of people, they don't want to give these guys credit. I mean, they don't. Whether it be Golovkin, or some people don't want to give Canelo credit, or some people don't want to give Spence credit, or Mikey, or Lomachenko. There's always somebody that's going to shit on another fighter. They just can't say, hey, the guy's fucking good. Like I say, hey, Canelo's fucking good. You know what? Triple G's fucking good. There's just no way about it. The real winners in these fights are the fans. I know it's a used comment, but it's the truth.
It is.
It's well worth the $85 you're going to spend on the fight, Kelly.
But they call people bums and
tomato cans and. Well, it is a culture difference, but they've been together long enough where Triple G needs to grab himself by the balls and tell his trainer to shut the fuck up. Your trainer doesn't need, you know what?
I look at it like this though, but is that going to cause more distraction throughout a camp?
Not right now.
Tension?
I'm talking about after the fight. Shut the fuck up. We can't do this no more, right? Let me ask you this. When you worked with Jack, right? And if Jack was doing that, right? How long would that have went on before you told him to shut the fuck up?
It all depends, though. I mean, to a point, that's not a trainer's. I do agree with it. It's not a trainer's job. A fighter can speak for himself.
Yes.
Okay. And people want to hear from, unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, people want to hear from the fighter, anyways. Seriously, if you think about it. But if maybe Triple G wants him to be that person, though, maybe that might be a smart business part or marketing part on Triple G.
Yeah.
He's kind of the clean cut, like stays out of shit type fighter. And he don't have a big mouth. He don't badmouth people. Maybe that's where he says, hey, you know what? I want you to go ahead and you talk to them and ruffle some feathers.
Put Canelo in his emotions. You know what I mean?
Or maybe
but
that's what it is.
Working. It's not working.
But
you know what I mean?
But it's not working. I know what you're saying, but it's not working towards him either, though. It's not hurting Triple G.
No, it's not.
And maybe he's telling Sandra, hey, ruffle some feathers. Say this, say that. I'm just saying the reason why that might be out there.
Daniel's saying Canelo has too many tools in his toolbox. The problem with having too many tools in your toolbox is not knowing what to use. You know what I mean? He has a lot of tools, but he doesn't use all of them. He didn't use all of them against Golovkin. You know what? The guy's a great boxer. Fucking fantastic boxer. Awesome counterpuncher. Mm-hmm. Great defense. One of the best defenses in the sport, I would say. But the problem is, he gets on the ropes, and he was so worried about being hit by Triple G, he tightened up and didn't do shit when he was on the ropes.
It tires you out.
It tires you out.
It does.
Because I think Triple G probably hits like a monster. I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, of course.
I tell people straight up. Lonnie made a good point. This is kind of what we were saying. He goes, it's not the fighter's fault if they came up.
If they came up in a generation where it wasn't prime fighters in there. And exactly, I agree with Lonnie.
All-time legends. At the time, look at Roy Jones. He really fought one all-time great. I can't blame him, though.
He fought more than one.
Yeah, he did, but
James Toney was an all-time great.
Yeah.
Bernard Hopkins.
That was before Bernard was Bernard.
Bernard was still great, though. Still world champion at the time.
Yeah, but you'll get people on that.
I know, but he still beat.
Because that was a big thing, like when he was getting backed up, people would say, wait till he gets somebody who's going to fucking test him and put pressure on him. And unfortunately it did happen, and he got knocked out by Glenn Johnson.
Let's not forget, he went to heavyweight from middleweight and won the world heavyweight championship.
Listen, we had this discussion before. Talk about other than Lomachenko, and I still have Lomachenko over him though, as far as athletically skilled wise. But second, Roy Jones. Oh, we're close.
Let me tell you. Well, you know what? I can't argue with you on that point. I can't. But what I'm saying is, you know what separated Roy Jones and Lomachenko? Roy Jones was fucking electrifying. You didn't know if you should get up and go take a piss or go put cheese on your nachos because you knew that fight was going to probably end.
But he fought at a heavier weight where knockouts were more likely to happen, though, because of the size of the
But, I mean,
weight.
It was electrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is not another one out there other than Lomachenko that could compare to Roy Jones' athletic ability and natural ability.
Thanks, Josh Patton. Thank you for... And Eddie Kuhn, my cousin. Saul's very pompous. You know what, though, Sergio? He is pompous. But you know what? That's his age, man. He's been a pro since he's 15 years old. He's been a millionaire since he was 18. Think about this. You're given those kind of things at that age. See if you're not pompous and arrogant. You know what I mean?
Who's that?
Canelo. He's been a millionaire since he was 18 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has 50-something, 60 fights.
I can't say he's arrogant. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but but in all reality, he's still a child. You know what I mean? He's never had a chance to not be a kid. They turned him pro at 15 years old. You know what I mean? He never had a chance. I mean,
maybe he's not. Yeah, maybe he's not an asshole either. Maybe he's sitting down with his family, trying to have a taco or whatever the fuck. That's not being culturally incorrect. I'm just saying maybe he's eating one of his enhanced steaks, and people come up to him and fucking bother him and stick their fingers in his face and having him do this and that, or maybe he's like in a hurry to go somewhere and actually like just walks past the guy and don't say hi or didn't notice him, and everybody goes, he's an arrogant asshole.
No.
Maybe that's why people call him.
You know what though? The thing is, not every fighter's a people person. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Crawford is not a people person. If you meet Crawford, he is not the type of guy that just comes out in a crowd and starts meeting everybody and talking. He's kind of shy and withdrawn.
And,
you know what I mean?
And that's his personality. He's allowed to be. So why?
Yeah.
Hundreds of people are like that. How come he's an asshole if he does it? I don't want to hear the shit like public figure. You're in the limelight. This is bullshit. You're a fucking human being. Yeah. Everybody. He don't owe anybody nothing.
And that's the problem. A lot of fans, a lot of writers, trainers, whoever in the sport, they believe these fighters owe them something. These fighters don't owe you a fucking thing. Nothing. You get exactly what you pay for. You pay the money for a ticket. You come watch the fight. You pay for a pay-per-view. You watch the fight. That's all they fucking owe you is a great show. Other than that, they don't owe you autographs. They don't owe you pictures. They don't owe you t-shirts. They don't owe nothing. Yeah. But the thing is, fans believe, and not just fans, media, people believe these fighters need to give everything to them.
They don't.
I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute. How many fucking requests do you get a week for donating to charity? To fucking come see this person, come see that person, come do this and do that. And 90% of the time you do it.
Yeah.
But if you decided tomorrow to stop doing...
If you're an asshole.
Yeah, but if you decide to stop tomorrow, there's not shit anybody could say to you. You don't owe anybody a fucking thing, Kelly. No.
And that's why I keep saying, like, here's how, just not only boxing, sports in general. You bought a ticket, you went to the game, the athletes performed. End of transaction.
That's it?
That's what it is. You pay for them to entertain you. They entertain you. And some of them are putting their health. You're not sitting in the stands worried about blowing out your kneecap or getting brain damage and Alzheimer's by the time you're 50 from sitting there watching them. But these guys are performing and they are putting their health at risk and their life on the line to entertain you guys. And it's the way it's been going on for hundreds of years. That's the way it goes. And the entertainment business is a lot like, entertainment's like a lot like the sports. Sports are entertainers. You don't hear anybody going up to Taylor Swift saying, hey, you owe me a picture in row 45 at this concert. Bring your sexy ass out here and take this picture with me. You owe me it. Well, no, she's up on stage singing, performing it for you, and that's it.
Delilah said you do owe her a picture, though.
Yes. Delilah, I will get you one, hon.
We owe you everything, Delilah.
For sure. That is not a problem.
We owe you everything.
No sweat off my fine arms, Delilah.
And Ryan's right. Boxers, MMA fighters, gladiators, they are. But I think it's lost in translation that people always want more. It's like that book you read to your kids. If you give a mouse a cookie, have you ever read that? Yeah. If you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a straw. Then they're going to want milk. They're going to want a napkin. There's always something else. You can never do enough. Ryan Garcia's a fucking faggot. Well, why is he? Because he passed me up. I didn't get an autograph. Oh, you mean because he signed 4,000 of them? And he signed 4,000 of them? Do you know what I mean? And he wanted to get to his room?
I think I might have told you about this one. I was down doing charitable work at the rescue mission.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah, and the lady goes, oh, that's good, but yeah, I'm glad you're doing it. Yeah, you need to give back.
That was Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, you need to give back.
Oh, remember she came in and she wanted you to sign like 20 pictures for her kids and family?
Yeah.
Of your own pictures, right?
Ain't that fucking something? As I'm there doing that and not knowing all the shit that I've
done. Feeding these people.
I feel like telling her, hey chick, did you go run 5 miles with me right next to me every morning? Did you go spar and get punched in the head fucking for 10 rounds? Did you starve yourself for 2 months to make weight with me? I'd never seen you, so who?
No, me and you, we went there to serve food. Do you remember?
Yeah.
At the rescue mission on Thanksgiving Day, and people came in there and acted like you owed them.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to be given back, motherfucker. If I would have known that, I would have ate their cheesecake and fucking left.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
I would have.
But
what happened there?
Well, it wasn't the people. It was the workers. It wasn't the homeless people or the people that I was doing that for.
No, I know.
It was the ones that shouldn't have. The workers
that don't ask for shit. You know. Hey, you want to get Rich Marotta on, and we'll get back to this conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're gonna bring Rich Marotta on, and and we'll get to your questions. You want to answer Bill's?
Froch was I was at middleweight for a while. A lot of people forget that. Even when people ask me about the Super 6 tournament, I was middleweight champ. I had a belt there. There was no talks, no rush for me to go to super middleweight.
Oh, no rush.
Unfortunately,
no rush.
we did start going to super middleweight because I just at 6'2" couldn't make the 160 no more. But unfortunately, the Super 6 had already started, and Froch again with negotiation with that. Froch's people wanted me over there, top rank, didn't want me fighting overseas. So that's kind of, it didn't come down to me or Froch. It came down to the handlers and the top people. So.
Virgil Ortiz, what did she say? Because I was 2 miles ahead of you.
You said it? Oh.
Hey, if you've seen her, you know she wasn't 2 miles ahead anything but a fucking ice cream truck.
Then you know what? Then I would have gave her $20 and a cookie.
Scott said, I have personally seen Kelly sit down and talk with a guy who noticed him in CVS for 15 minutes. You know what? You're absolutely right, Scott. And you know what? At MGM Grand, I think we had over, I would say 3,000, 4,000 people getting pictures and autographs. Yeah. Kelly signed everyone and took every picture. I waited for how many hours? We waited for 4 hours, didn't we, on you? And you never bitched and complained.
No, because, I do agree. Like, they're fans. Hey, you know what? It's hard because God gives you the opportunity to be in that situation. I do understand that, and I think that you should. I don't think that you should turn, especially kids.
No.
Should turn away autographs, and I do look at it at that point. Believe me, I respect it, and I'm appreciative of what the Lord has given me. But it comes to a point, too. I mean, champions are humans. I mean, we have families.
Fighters, period, are humans.
Exactly. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Now, let's give him a call.
And we're going to give
Daniel Rich pretty soon.
We're going to give Rich Marotta a call. Give us like 8 minutes, guys, and we will be back to your questions. So don't leave.
So we got his number?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I got it. Hold on. I won't give it to you out loud because everybody will be calling him. Remember the time we did that?
Hey, this is the Punchline's #1 fan. It's me. What's going on?
See it?
310.
There you go. I can't wait to talk to Rich. I'm a big fan. He's actually one of my favorite sportscasters, commentators.
Hello?
Hey, Rich. It's Kelly Pavlik.
Yes.
You're on the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to it.
Oh, definitely.
It's an honor to have you on, Rich. You are my favorite sportscaster from Los Angeles. I grew up in that area, too, and I remember having you on there. It was you're one of the best. You're a class act.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Rich, don't let James fool you. He says that to everybody.
No, I do not. Kelly's going to get in another fight in a minute.
Yeah, so what's going on in your world, man? How's everything going?
Oh, it's going good. I've retired from the radio business. The daily radio grind that I was doing, morning drive for 23 years, and as well as doing the boxing radio show that I did in Los Angeles for a long time. That Kelly used to come on quite a bit, actually, and so. I'm kind of semi-retired right now, but I'm handling the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, and I'm doing whatever boxing work I can do, and here and there, just to keep in the loop. And I do some radio work back in Los Angeles, back at my old radio station, KFI, now and then.
That's awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Rich, we have a lot of questions for you. You got a huge fan base. I mean, It's one of the bigger ones for a media guy, a sports guy. But a lot of people, they wanted to ask you how you got started in this business. What brought you to the boxing world?
You know something. I've had a career in which I've developed a niche in terms of being a broadcaster for a number of different sports. You know, I did the Los Angeles Raiders when the NFL when they were in Los Angeles 13 years. I did their games on radio. I did the Los Angeles Kings in hockey. I did two stints with them. I did the Los Angeles Clippers in basketball. I did 4 years with the Clippers, being both play-by-play and color. But through all of those, boxing was also a part of my career. And I actually got started I didn't get started, but I developed this interest when I was a little kid. My dad had in the garage a pile of old Ring magazines dating back to the 30s.
Wow.
That I used to pour through there, and I'd spend hours in my garage reading every one of those old Ring magazines, and believe it or not, Police Gazette newspaper, and all of these magazines that had all of this boxing information. And I got started as a fan as a kid, watching fights like Archie Moore against Yvonne Durrell, and Floyd Patterson became my my boxing hero when I was a kid, and I was just an over the top fan of boxing, and I used to go down to the fights at the Olympic Auditorium that they used to have every Thursday night down there as a teenager. And once I got into broadcasting on a major league level with the LA Kings and with the LA Raiders, I started getting the word around to people who were involved in boxing, because I would go to all the fights to cover them. That, hey, if there's an opportunity to someday maybe call a fight or be involved in boxing, I'd love to do it. And so I got an opportunity. Don Chargan gave me an opportunity to start calling some fights that he had a small network on, and then I just started. I started doing them in the mid '80s, and then I got to do forum boxing, on a regular basis. And we had many great fights there, and many great shows.
Oh yeah.
And then it just expanded on to doing Prime Ticket, Fox Fights. Doing some of the undercards, even I would do anything I could to broadcast those fights. I remember Kelly fighting those fights at 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, on big fight cards with when nobody was in the arena, as they were building his career, and building him into eventually a contender. And
some of my best knockouts on those.
It was present throughout my whole life, boxing. And so I was fortunate enough, even though I wasn't a professional athlete, to be able to participate.
Rich, one of my Army boxing teammates, and one of my Army buddies, Simon Rubalcaba, you know him pretty well. He wanted you to share your story of the first time meeting Muhammad Ali.
Well, this was pretty interesting. Believe it or not, the first interview that I ever did in my entire radio, you wouldn't even call it a career at the time, because people wasn't even on radio, was with Muhammad Ali. And the way that it came about, and you talk about starting at the top.
Right.
But the way it came about, I was a page when I was in college, working part-time at NBC, being an usher, giving studio tours and that kind of thing. And I was assigned to the Flip Wilson show. Do you guys remember the comedian Flip Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah, and he had a weekly show on NBC, the Flip Wilson show. And I heard that Muhammad Ali was going to be a guest the following week. Now, I had just started my sophomore year in college, and I was trying to get on the radio station. I was doing low-level stuff, at the college radio station there, separating records, doing this, that, and whatever. But I wanted to be on the air, and so I brought a tape recorder with me. But when I heard that Muhammad Ali was going to be on the Flip Wilson show, I was assigned backstage to the Flip Wilson show to answer phones. And Muhammad Ali came in to be on the Flip Wilson show. I had my little tape recorder and just a stupid punk college kid who wasn't on the air or anything. And his wife came out of his dressing room, and I asked her, do you think I could get a comment from Muhammad about his fight with Joe Frazier that was going to be upcoming? And she goes, well, I don't know, but I'll ask them. She came out about 20 minutes later out of the dressing room, and she waved me down to the dressing room where Muhammad was in there. And all these stars were in there, Roberta Flack, Flip Wilson, and all these people that were going to be on the show, right? And Muhammad waves me over and he says, sit down, what do you want to do? And I said, would it be okay if I asked you a couple of questions on tape? Well, guys, he gave me, and remember, I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I'm not even on the air, just a college student. He gave me a full 15-minute interview.
Wow.
And that was my very first interview that I ever did in radio. And when I brought it back to the radio station, obviously, everybody was like really excited and everything. They gave me a show, and that was going to be the beginning of the first show. That was going to be the premiere episode, my interview with Muhammad Ali.
That's amazing.
Rich, when he gave you that 15 minutes of that, was you prepared for that? Did you already have everything that you wanted to ask him, or did you have to start making up stuff as you were going? Not expecting to get to 15 minutes.
I didn't know what I'd be able to ask, because I thought it was just going to be a question or two. But the next thing, he's just sitting down and he's doing this whole Muhammad Ali thing with me, Yeah. I mean, he's laughing, making jokes about Howard Cosell and everything. Yeah. So it was incredible. And here I was, you can even hear it. If you listen to the tape now, you can hear me trying to lower my voice to sound really official with a really official radio voice, because I had never even been on the air. And here I was interviewing the great Muhammad Ali.
So I was going to ask you, had you seen any big differences between media in that time, like when you were in the 80s and 90s through the Forum and through the Olympic? Do you see the difference between the media then and the media now? Any big differences?
With the media?
Yes, with media. Like the differences between how boxing's covered now as opposed to how it was covered then when you were
in the early 70s,
80s, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was very, very different. It's very, very difficult now to get mainstream covered.
Yes.
Which is why it's so exciting that there's all these new platforms. And you guys are on a new platform yourself. There's the streaming of undercard fights. There's the Facebook platform. There's all kinds of things that are just being developed over the last several years. So boxing is able at this time to go outside of the mainstream media, which has become increasingly resistant to covering boxing, and so boxing is finding its way now out of that, and with the internet and with all these other platforms, and it's a brilliant thing. So there was more mainstream media coverage back, say, in the 80s of big championship fights and that kind of thing. They put they'd embed a reporter in training camp, have them reporting there for every day, leading up to the fights, as to what was going on, in the different training camps. You don't see that kind of thing anymore in mainstream media, but with the advent of all of these new platforms and with the internet technology, we're seeing other means. So I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah,
I was going to say that, with social media now, getting to be able to watch people work out before the fight, the weigh-ins are live on social media now. Fighters are tweeting and putting stuff, making posts on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and kind of putting the news out there themselves. So it's got to be kind of hard for the reporters now to really have the breaking stories or behind the scenes when everything's already kind of put out there.
Yeah, it's just a different world. And in fact, you were so, Kelly, unusual because you, for example, we had like this exclusive, really unusual kind of situation that you would actually come on our show in the morning of a fight. And I think that started. You had that fight with out in Southern California with Jose Luis Zertucci, I think was his name, and then you went on to fight Edison Miranda, but you used to start coming on. I don't know if you even remember this, but I mean, you would come on the morning of the fight, and it was successful. You kept winning, and you kept doing it, and we started getting calls from other fighters and other fighters and the publicists saying, hey, they want to get on the show on the morning. But that was all unusual. Now you get through the internet, of course, you have a lot more opportunity to see and hear from fighters. But in those days, I mean, that was an incredible break for my radio show. In fact, that's why I'm really happy to be invited to be on.
Well, having you on the great break for ours.
Yeah, exactly. But what's funny about that is I remember that clearly now, and another big reasons was, and thanks to you, I was kind of a superstitious fighter too. and I didn't do many interviews the day of the fight. And I believe after the Zartucci fight, it was kind of the next time they came around and asked, because my dad was like how I was too. Yeah. He was superstitious, and
it's a Sicilian.
Yeah, and it was kind of like the thing, like, all right, hey, we did it last time, you know, like, why not do it again,
right?
You know, so that really was that's the honest to God truth. And again, and not just saying this, but they were great interviews too, because usually they had a fight, man, I was so worked up, but it was kind of like a little break. They get on there and kind of break up the monotony of everybody being tense in a hotel room and along with the superstition. Yeah, no, I definitely remember.
Rich?
That's great. Well, that's very gratifying. You know, and by the way, I'll tell you one other difference. Listening to your show, you know, is that, you know, basically being on the platform you're on, you basically can say anything you want, right?
Yeah.
In our show, say, for example, when we used to have James Toney on, our poor engineer would be sitting there by the dump button ready to dump out of every other word that James was saying.
Yeah. They just had a beep every 2 seconds.
Beep, beep. Hey, you know what, though? I'm surprised that if they had that for our show, we'd have been beeped out the whole show ourselves.
Yeah.
Kelly's not as bad as I am, though. All right, Rich, we have some fans, and they want your input. They want to know your thoughts on Porter and Garcia.
Well, I think there's no way this isn't going to be a great fight, for one. I mean, they're a really fan-friendly fight. I think it'll be really fun. I think we kind of know what's going to happen as far as the style of the fight goes. I think, you know, I think Danny would like to fight coming forward, but I just don't think he's going to be able to fight coming forward against Sean Porter. Sean's this kind of irresistible force, and he just comes out at you like a maniac, really. I mean, it seems he does that more and more with each succeeding fight. So I think Danny is going to have to figure out a way, and he is a good counterpuncher. Danny Garcia is an excellent counterpuncher, and I think that's going to be the key for him, is if he can catch, Sean being reckless and making mistakes and counter, especially with that strong right that he has. He has a good punch, Danny, and I think he's showed that. I'll say this about Danny, guys. You know, I probably picked against him in, almost all of his major fights, and he almost always proves me wrong. And I'm picking against him again this time. I think that Porter is going to put so much pressure on him that he's going to get around, win rounds, put enough rounds in the bank to take a decision over Danny. But I think it's a really good fight, a really fan-friendly fight. I love fights like this, and I know everyone's going to enjoy watching it. Yeah,
you know what, Rich? I agree with you, and I think it's the right choice this time. Porter, we were talking about it before you came on. Porter's just a naturally big welterweight. I mean, he fought in the amateurs, 165. He played football, just a big, naturally strong athlete. In every fight, he's in great shape. He applies that pressure throughout, and he don't tire either. I mean, he does that for 12 rounds, and naturally bigger than these guys. These guys, going into them fights mentally, they have to be stronger than hell, because to know that they got to go in a full 12 rounds and winning a wrestling match along with a boxing match, it wears you down. And Porter's that type of fighter, and he's going to make it very hard for Danny Garcia. I don't think Garcia has enough pop nor enough physical strength to deal with that for 12 rounds. So,
Kevin, you have Rich, you have a question from Kevin. I'm sorry, you have a question from Kevin Kennedy. He said, "Hi, Rich. Giant respect to you. What is the most odd boxing-related thing that you've ever had to comment on?"
The most odd?
Yes, the most odd boxing-related thing you've ever had to comment on.
Are you saying like during a telecast?
Yes, a telecast or a story, something like that.
Well, I would say I was doing in the early 2000s. I was doing these fights for on Fox for America Presents. You remember that promotional company?
Yes.
Yeah, and they were promoting a number of heavyweights, at the time, and they were all fighting. I think the fights were in New Jersey. We had a 2-hour window. And we had 5 fights, and they lasted about a total of 7 rounds. So we had about 40 minutes at the end of our telecast to tap dance, to try to figure out something to say that we haven't said 100 times already on the telecast that night. And it put Barry Tompkins and I to a real test that night. I think we had 5 fights, 8 rounds total.
Wow.
In the entire telecast. We had 3 one-round knockouts. And you do prepare and you do have notes, but after a while, believe me, you do run out of things to say.
I bet.
And so that was a tough one. Probably the oddest night that I had in boxing broadcasting.
I bet. And before we let you go, I wanted to congratulate you on your 4 Emmys, 4 local Emmys. That's a huge accomplishment, and what a true honor it is to have you on the show. And congratulations on your induction to Nevada Hall of Fame and the California Boxing Hall of Fame. What a treat it is to have you on here. And I just hope that we can get to your level one day.
Exactly. We appreciate it, Rich.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I've been enjoying your show, and I think it's really terrific. And especially, a month like this that we've got coming up with all of these fights, Triple G and Canelo, and, Amir Khan's coming back, and, this super fly thing that they've got at the Forum, this week. I mean, there's so much going on. I think boxing's on a great upswing, and it's a great opportunity for shows like yours to kind of to ride that wave, because this is a good time for boxing right now. This is a good wave of momentum that the sport is on right now. And,
I agree.
And we can all kind of fly with it.
I agree.
Definitely. And, Rich, I'd love to have you back on again and just, bull crap over the state of the game and everything else that's going on and get your opinion on it. So we appreciate that.
I would love to. Anytime, guys. Yeah, it's my honor to be on with you guys.
The honor is all ours.
Yeah, definitely.
The honor is all ours. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
And we'll be chatting with you.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Rich.
Good night.
Bye.
What a great interview. What a great person. I just love having him on. But also, I want to thank Simon Rublikava for setting that up. Our editor, our webpage editor, and our main boxing writer. He does a lot of things for the show. I want to thank him.
Yeah, it's funny. You go back, you think about, like for me with the career and having him, it was great. And he set the thing for us. It was, I actually look at him, I like, good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's, that was the interview we did.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have another YouTube question, Kelly. Armando Hernandez asked, Kelly, what's going on with your boy Taylor? You ruined Taylor's life.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me.
You know what?
No,
that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could blame Frotch and Arthur Abraham too.
And you know what? I wouldn't even want to put it on as a fighter doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's just life, man. Shit happens, And again, it's a lot of fans expecting a lot more than a fighter can give. You know what I mean? They should.
Yeah, but that comes down for this type of stuff that he did. Who knows? I mean, he just got out of that, and I think the biggest thing is not coming down on him or anything like that. Maybe see what is going on. What is going on?
What the fuck is the issue? But to come down on a fighter or make jokes about him, I understand jokes are funny because I'm one of the jokiest joke guys in the world. But I don't want to shit on the guy when we don't even know that.
Yeah, I think this is on something that's a little more serious. I don't know.
I think it is, and I just wish the best for Jermaine Taylor. He's always been a stand-up, classy guy, even to you.
Yeah, I mean, but some of these things, I don't know though. I don't seem like a Jermaine Taylor. That's why I'm saying
that I knew in the amateurs
and early pro career, and that's not.
And something we should hit on about that is CTE in boxing. I mean, it's a good time to bring that shit up.
Yeah,
we don't know, and with the NFL. They're doing a lot of things out there. NFL, rugby, and a lot of these other sports are doing these. Even MMA are starting to look into this whole CTE thing now, and it's important, man. It's really big.
It is, but I'm gonna relate that to what you put on one of your posts that I read earlier today with the military.
Yeah, this is what you volunteered for.
I think CTE is definitely an issue. Okay, and you're really starting to see in like kid programs, Pee Wee football. Actually, I was talking with a guy here, Tim Bacon. His son plays Pee Wee football, 11 and 12, at that very fragile age of like, are we going to keep him when they're growing and everything else? They're maturing, chemical brain imbalance, everything, just everything with it, and they're at that level where they're getting bigger. They're hitting each other. They're making contact. It's not flag football. It's full tackle football. And a lot of kids ain't signing up for it because of the health reasons and the injuries and the potential injuries. And the same with boxing. A lot of people are kind of straying away from boxing because of that. Listen, do I believe in it? Yes, I do.
Of course.
I truly do. But if a kid wants to do it, they know what they're getting into. Even at 11, 12 years old, you could tell them. I still go back to like how many football players over the years, and I try to balance it out. Jim Brown, perfectly fine. Sharp as a needle, and he was a big running back who took a lot of shots to the head.
Well, that's a genetic thing too. I think people are more predisposed to a CT than other people.
Granted, guys now are faster, stronger, bigger, and it's just the truth. And boxing and football, so I think they're putting a little too much into it. At the same time, the studies are great and they should figure something out. But it kind of goes into like what you brought up, PTSD.
Yeah.
Guys in World War II and Vietnam, they didn't hear of PTSD.
They had it though. They didn't talk about it.
But it wasn't as exaggerated. These guys literally went straight to the steel mills. My grandfather went straight to the steel mills, worked. You would never have known.
But it was a different time where people didn't talk about those things like that. It's considered a weakness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But CT is absolutely 100% real. I have seen soldiers get traumatic brain injuries, even mild ones, and their whole personality fucking changes. And then I've seen the personality change, and then I've seen suicide from it. And you know what? I'm not saying that's what led to it, but I'm saying it's a perfect storm of things. When you have that brain injury, and then you have depression on top of it, and alcohol abuse, or whatever the abuse is going on, that's a perfect storm for disaster. And
this is where I'm agreeing with you on, but if you start really throwing that out there a lot, and again, safety first.
You can't prevent it, but you can't prevent something like that.
But how much will that start affecting?
I don't think it's going to affect. I don't think I don't think you can't prevent CTE from happening in this sport. But what I think is we can be more cognitive for aftercare of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's start recognizing it now. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is parents for kids going to start, well, no, you can't do this, you can't play, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
Because it's starting to slowly happen. And like I said, just locally around here, it is happening with athletes and young kids. They're having a hard enough time putting players on the field.
Yeah. Because
the parents don't want that.
But at the end of the day, I think their health is more important than a fucking game. I really do. In any sport, I think someone's health is more important than a game. It really is. At the end of the day, if I have daughters, I wasn't blessed to have sons, but my daughters play sports, right? Mm-hmm. My daughter, one plays softball, the other one plays volleyball. If I saw that she was hitting the head with softball and had some kind of CTE, God forbid, and it was going to cause damage, she wouldn't play anymore.
Yeah, but it's a very tough spot. Okay, for instance, college football.
Yes.
You see how strict they're getting now. I mean, some of these calls are just like totally ruining the game. But I agree, but at the same time, okay, I understand the safety part, but like that one play, the quarterback, he broke away, he was going down, but he wasn't down, he got hit, and they threw the flag for roughing the passer. Where do you come in? Like, how bad is it going to eventually keep getting to ruin the sport? What I'm saying, it's one of those things where I don't know how to explain it.
I personally think safety is paramount. I give a damn about the fucking sport. I think safety is paramount, and that's something that even as a parent, is it ruining the sport, making sure that these guys aren't wandering around like some of these guys aren't wandering around like some of these fighters, back in the day they couldn't even walk, you know what I mean, mm-hmm. or wandering around like Freddie Roach. Don't you think it would have been okay for somebody to step in and say, hey, Freddie, you're not looking good, buddy. Maybe it's time that we move you into another career instead of just pimp the fucking guy out fight after fight. And that's where prevention needs to come in. We need to say, they need to test for it and say, look, we see some gray matter in your brain. Maybe fighting is not what we should be doing. I mean, it's hard to tell somebody.
It comes down to federal, but how hard would it be for the federal?
It's not even federal. I think it's people taking personal, doctors and promoters and taking personal responsibility. Do you know what I mean?
Because if you go with the federal, I don't even know how you explain that. The federal, where it's a mandatory that they have to get checked up, this, that. But then the promoters, it comes into play with the promoters on that. They may not want that.
No, of course not.
They're not going to fall under one organization. They're going to want. There's not going to be just one head commission. You know what I mean? Because then it just takes away from the money making, and each state ain't going to want that. I mean, you could imagine what Nevada pulls in.
Oh my God!
Or California. YouTube comment, Steve Z.
Okay.
What's up, guy? Oh yeah, comment. What's up, guys? Thanks for having Marotta on. Flashback for me. Hey, no problem. It was good for us to have him on. Very insightful.
Chris said he needs to be checked for a CTE for sure. I talked about it with my article when he was arrested, and I agree. But we can't stop it from happening. But we can maybe early detection or early prevention or something. Do you know what I mean? If you know somebody genetically,
that may have prevented him doing these couple acts that he did.
Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, but I agree 100% with you, Kelly. But maybe if you know you're genetically disposed for a CTE because of multiple concussions your father may have had, maybe you need to be more careful with your career a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I don't have the right answer.
I was reading on that a lot too, though, where they say that unfortunately they can't tell until after on the biopsy.
No, they have to actually take the brain out when they die.
Yeah, they have to take it out, so they can't.
Yeah,
University can't detect it while you're alive.
Yes, John Hopkins is doing that thing with the NFL players. And did you know? Did you see that? Out of 102 brains, only 2 people did not have a CTE in the NFL. 100 of the brains out of the 102 all had CTEs. All had black on there. That is including like guys like Junior Seau. You know what I mean? I think boxing is just as hard as the NFL.
Oh, it absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I would have to say every bit, probably more because of being knocked unconscious. When your brain shuts down, the amount of damage that the short circuiting of everything.
It's not even the knockout; it's just getting your brain rattled back and forth. You know what I mean? How many times have you got out of the ring at night and you said, "Fuck, this is a headache"? You know what I mean? I got a fucking headache.
Fortunately, I never had a headache.
No,
but I had my fucking nose, my nose, everything else. But I tell you what, I mean, for days after a fight, I was out of it.
Speaking of CTE, thoughts on Molina Jr. and Ortiz? Well, I love John Molina. I'm not gonna lie. John Molina is such a good guy. We're gonna have him on the show, right?
Yeah.
So, I got John Molina kicking Ortiz's ass. That right hand is fucking dynamite on John Molina at any level of the sport. And Steve, and you're right. Excellent discussion. Next we could do something to help boxers keep their money theirs. And I wish there was, but the problem with that, and I don't know, Kelly is more of an expert on this, so I'll defer to him on this. But it comes down to fiscal responsibility, and it comes down to not so many hands being in the pot on a boxer's career. You have managers, promoters, matchmakers, hangers-on, trainers, and you have so many people in the pot.
It's not so much promoter. Promoter is paying you.
But they're going to take back. They're going to recoup expenses, right?
Yeah, but that's the way
how it's done.
Cookie crumbles, and they should get their expenses back.
Yes.
But having the right people, and it's hard for young guys who, especially inner city guys or people who haven't had many trustworthy people surrounding them. But you have to find somebody who is trustworthy. They're out there. I guess you would call it a consultant. Hire a consultant. If you're going to pay anybody, pay a consultant.
Hire a fiduciary. You know what I mean? Somebody that manages your money and puts you a certain amount.
Exactly, a financial guy.
Yes.
You know what? People say, well, you can't trust them. Well, you really can't trust yourself either with that money because you don't know how to pull out to the side, put away tax money. You don't know exactly what your money's making. You don't know how to make your money's not making money.
Well,
actually, you're spending the money.
I wanted to ask you too, Kelly. How long did it take you before you became educated when it came to your money? Like when you started realizing, hey, this is my life. You know what I mean? When you started checking your investments and checking your accounts, when did that start coming into play for you?
That can't, still to this day, I have people that look over it for me almost as if like an auditor. But you have to have, I started, shortly after the Taylor fight. That's when I started making big money. You have the people there. I have my dad, and I'm so lucky for that because my dad was the first one to say that, like, dude, you got to get that money invested, put away. And he's set up, he went with his idea on it, like bonds and annuities.
Yes.
I was making money. There was no need to be aggressive and shit like that. And that's where it comes down. I'm not a big financial guy still. I leave that up and I
leave it to people that are
that know. Do that. Yeah, so, and they market it, and we're still not aggressive. There's no need to be. I'm still young. The money's there, just making money. But that's what people need. They need that. They need somebody there to help them and show them because They don't know. And they think because that money's coming in still. But they don't know, like, listen, when you retire, though, or if you should happen to get hurt, hey, Uncle Sam's still going to come knocking. While that money's in there,
they're still going to pay taxes.
You're going to be paying because if money's making money, or if you don't have it invested, that money's not making money, and you're just pulling away from that money off that leave off that tree, and eventually it's all gone.
Well, our financial guru is right here, Justin. Justin, what would you? I want to ask you. Justin's a major financial guy, and he's very well versed in finance world. What would be your advice to a fighter that's just hitting those contender rates, starting to make $50,000, $75,000 per fight? He may be fighting 3 times a year. What would be your advice for him?
Pay the taxes out. Do they take the taxes from
Yeah,
you?
They pay taxes
quarterly.
Yes,
The best way to go is quarterly.
They do
No, you pay your own taxes on the money.
pay your own taxes. I pay all the taxes right off the rip.
How would you?
And then I invest it.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Invest it.
Yeah.
And where would
your
you-
investors will take them out. You're a guy of an accountant.
Where would you invest that kind of money at, though? In for the long term of a fighter. For long term, for life after boxing.
More high risk investments, but you want to diversify your portfolio.
Okay.
Anywhere it could be real estate, it could be tech, I mean, it could be things like that. But I mean, you find a good financial advisor and the younger you are, you want more high risk investments, and as you get older, you want to turn those high risk investments into more moderate risk, and then before you pull out, you want to be in lower stuff. So.
Would you agree with
Depending if you have a good amount, though, you don't have to be as aggressive.
No.
It's not going. You could actually, 100%.
Would you agree with the fighter having a fiduciary? Maybe somebody that if they need something, they might cut them a check every week or every 2 weeks for expenses, and then they
put them on a budget.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do. Would you agree with that?
Oh, sure.
I mean, multimillionaires are still on budgets.
Well, yeah, but
I give them a monthly salary, and that'd be it. Just get used to.
Yeah.
okay.
Like my guy, Josh, he does fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
and
well, of course.
and he still calls, like, he'll be like, dude, hey, this, that, you need to do this. Come in. I mean, I'm in there 2 days a week. I tell you what, on the taxes, though, I like doing the quarterly.
Yeah.
Because you do sometimes, you overpay, and they call you and they'll be like, dude, look at you'll send me a picture. It's a nice chunk, though.
Well,
1 year, though, I got hit and I almost fucking puked. Oh, wait.
what I was going to say is this.
Oh,
You were blessed with your career, Kelly. You had your father who's looking out for your best interest, and he had no ulterior motives at all because he's such a good man. But you have so many fucking parents out there that are scumbags that will rob their fucking fighters, their own kids. They're fucking.
That's why I say
blind.
there is guys out there, they're consultants that work in, especially like in a boxing field. Okay, that
but I mean, I think you were blessed with an intelligent father that took care of you.
Yeah, I was, and and a lot of that falls on me too. Like I would push the limits.
Yes.
On my shit, but then it was like. I went back.
But you were pushing on goats and shit. That's good stuff, man.
But
you weren't buying Lamborghinis and fucking Ferraris. You were driving a fucking Denali and getting goats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, I'm fucking out with Will and Dill still. But that's why I'm still. That's why I don't have to throw a punch. And these guys have to understand it. That's the thing with these athletes. I think it's more of a show off. Like, look what I got type thing, and they have to materialistic. Like.
Well, I think it's a lot of it. I think it's your background. It is. It's your background and it's your.
But you got to push that to the side.
No, I agree.
You have to let that shit go.
I think it's where I think some of them are from. It's always about looking good. Mm-hmm. Most of them cars that you see a lot of these fighters have or jewelry, they don't even own that shit. It's all fucking rented. It's a fugazi.
And get a car like mine under way above their means. And look at my car, blah blah blah, and. I'm not bragging about anything, but I'm like laughing at myself. But I bet you I could go on vacation next month.
Yep. You have guys like the Charlos making $150,000 a fight driving a fucking Bentley.
I kept telling you about the Broner. The cars that he got, Broner didn't make the salary yet. To
justify what
his cars was what he was. One of his cars is what he made in a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm in my head. I see that now after all these years later, 11 years later. Where I learned from my guys, like my financial people and my dad and my accountants, is I'm going in my head like, okay, well, he had tax on that fight. He had this. He has to pay tax at the end of the year. He has, he pays out the trainer, this person, that person. Oh, he's probably got a big house. I bet you his property tax outside of Youngstown is probably about $12,000, $15,000 a year. I bet you probably cost him just to upkeep that house about $40,000 every 6 months.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's true.
You know, so that's what's going on in my head, seeing that car. But let me hit the shoot you question.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have another one here too.
Okay. Goes, great points about fighters being punchy. The problem is, in my opinion, is there's no money in training. McCain a while ago wanted to make a plan for fighters after they leave boxing.
Yes.
And a lot of people, they had the Muhammad Ali Act.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that, though. Again, I keep going into it, you know, the business part of it.
But there is money in training because that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
There is money in training. Just because you don't see it right now doesn't mean that you're not getting it. Rudy Hernandez said it the best. When people say, Kelly, you made some odd millions for this fight. No, like Rudy said, no, you didn't make millions for that fight. No. You made millions because of when you were 7 years old, you started fighting. You made millions from 7 years old.
Exactly.
When you were 7, you didn't make millions for that fight.
Everything you did from the start was paying dividends.
Let me tell you what. And this is based on my limited amateur experience. I had 150 fights or so, which is limited compared to a lot of these other guys. The devil is in the details. You know, the time you put in the gym, like they say, the more time you sweat, the less you'll fucking bleed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I go back to it. It's
so
well deserving when people say, like, you owe it.
Oh, yeah.
All these guys don't.
And then people don't realize this, Kelly. When you go out of your way and you donate money or shit, you even buy somebody dinner or whatever the case is, people don't stop to realize what you went through to make that money or how you got it. You literally fucking bled. You bled and were bruised for that steak dinner that you just bought somebody. Yeah. And people don't take that into account and they don't appreciate it.
Like my people didn't own a Cadillac dealership. That's not handed down.
No, but like I said, when me and you go out and you pick up the bill, that crosses my mind every time. Mm-hmm. What Kelly had to go through. And then even, not to toot my horn, but when I spend money too, I think about it. What did I go through to get that money? Yeah. I bled. I broke my fucking neck. I broke my back. I injured in combat. Exactly. Same thing. I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but it's the same concept. No, what you went through to get that money, yeah. And when you do things like that for me, or you do them for other people, it makes it more special.
But that just goes to young people in general. I would say too, though, with a good job, like construction workers work their ass off.
It makes it more special. But there's difference. Running a jackhammer all day is not getting punched in the fucking mouth.
It's not.
It's not. I don't care how.
It's not getting your ribs up around your spleen.
I'll run a jackhammer for fucking 12 hours a day, but I'd rather do that than spar 3 rounds.
If I run a jackhammer for 12 hours or 24 hours, I guarantee when I go pee, it's going to be the color of pee.
You wouldn't have kidney stones.
After a fight, it really changes the color of my pee.
You wouldn't have kidney stones, though, would you?
No. Pissing straight blood for 2 days.
Armando asked
Hawaiian punch.
Armando asked another question: how to get suspended when you get KO'd in a give your body? Don't do the convention suspend the fighter? Yes, in the professionals you get 60 days normally. 60 days is 60 to 90 days is still going, but it depends on the commission. But most on average is anywhere from 30 to 90 days in between that. Yeah. But yes, they're supposed to suspend you. Even amateurs are suspended on a KO.
But going back to that, that's only what you see. That means that they can't fight.
No.
And a lot of these guys are back in the gym sparring 2 weeks later.
Fuck. Monday? Monday.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. But, I mean, that's by all rights.
So going into that, I think that comes down on trainers, managers. I think everybody has to be involved in this in the future.
I think so, too. I agree. I agree, Rick. I'm not shitting on it, Greg. I know it can, but what I'm saying is I would rather run a jackhammer than get punched in the fucking face.
Yeah, Greg, and it'll give you carpal tunnel, which boxing trainers, 99.9% of them got carpal tunnel.
I do from holding mitts. Yeah.
And we're not knocking it. That's what I'm saying.
No, we're not knocking
it. Construction jobs.
It's respectful, but I'm saying if I had my druthers, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's brutal. Most young fighters I've spoken about finance don't want to listen. No, you're right, Stephen. They don't want to listen. And you know what it is? Because this generation, it's the me generation and the now. They got to have everything now. There is no long-term goal.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I would rather go out and buy this platinum necklace than invest in a home. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes Mikey Garcia a good fighter. What did he do with his money? He started flipping homes immediately.
Exactly.
And flipping businesses.
Steven Casper says, most of these young fighters I have spoken to about finances don't want to listen. I know a young fighter on the East Coast that made $50,000 last fight. When I asked if he put 5% away, he said, he doesn't make enough yet to save. Get my point?
Yeah.
Now, on behalf of that, that's where you got to, because some financial advisors won't take you in unless you're
Have a certain wealth.
Yeah, won't take you unless you're like a couple $100,000. But even still at that point, see, and you're right. I mean, there's still people you could talk to or find a way to invest that or learn, I would guess, right?
Yeah.
Learn yourself. Yeah.
I am sure there's a shit ton of business school graduates that would love to help you. Do you know what I mean? That would be more
That'd
than
be
happy
their start,
to help you. Hey, that'd be their start. You know what I mean? Hey, can you help me? And I'll make it.
Won't feel bad if
I'll
they
cut
throw
you.
50,000.
I'll cut you 2.5% of my purse, right? Or whatever the going rate is. You know, 50,000. You give somebody 5% of it, or 2.5% of 50,000. They're happy as shit. If somebody asked you, somebody said, Justin, I need you to help me. I can't get a financial advisor to touch me, but I'm making 50,000 a fight. I'll give you 5%. Would you be more than happy to?
Look, for 50 grand, you go. I know it sounds stupid, but you can go fucking put that in at a local bank.
$2,500,
Talk to
man.
the bank manager and put that in an annuity until you start. You know, I mean, it's only about 2% interest.
Yeah,
on
but it's
it,
25. You know, 2,500 fucking bucks, dude.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's safe. It's not. It's growing a little bit. And
But it's a start.
exactly.
It's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start, man.
At least you know that it's slightly work that your money's
Shit,
working
you know,
for your money.
I even do acorns, man. I even do acorns. It's a start. You know, I spend $3.60. Acorns takes 40 cents and invest it for me. You know what I mean? And you know what? In 20, 30 years, I'll have $800. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? But guys need to be very careful how they take on their financial advisor.
morning.
Look what happened. Yeah, I agree, Greg. I mean, but it's hit and miss. They do have to be careful, but that's where
They take. Oh, that listen, that's 100% true, Greg. But you got to be careful taking on a financial advisor. But I think that these kids, that money's going to go a lot quicker in the hands of these young kids, though. I truly do. I think you're going to see cars that probably are all fucked up and they can't even, or actually get repoed.
No, they'll pay cash. They'll have a Tesla and they'll be sleeping in the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they'll have to get rid of it
to pay.
So, I mean, yeah, it is. It's risky, but who else you going to have watch the money?
Yeah.
That's why I keep getting into hiring a consultant. I mean, you get them for cheap, or find somebody that's been around. Talk to an old timer. I mean, they'll hit you with everything.
Oh yeah. Dylan says, I want Kelly Pavic Nikes. Don't we all, buddy? Don't we all?
Dylan, I'm gonna go pitch it to Nike. Everybody on here,
Can you
get a petition going to send it to Nike.
Can you picture the Ghost Sevens?
Oh, dude, be lights out.
Speaking of Ghost, next week's show.
Yeah,
It's our Ghost show.
exactly.
We have a paranormal show
Dude,
next.
we're talking about fucking a chance for me to
Ghost!
get Nike 7s out there, man. Come on.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Ghost show.
And MLK or MLG just came out.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
MGK.
Kel, you know.
Oh, Eminem's gonna body that dude, man. But that's just what I think. But no, but look at this. We got a Ghost show next week. It's gonna be about Ghost but we're still talking boxing, but we're going to talk about ghost and paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to have paranormal experts on the show.
Because we are going to talk about the Porter Garcia fight.
We're going to be talking
And
about
how we were
Canelo
right.
Triple G and how we were right.
But yes, the paranormal show is coming Tuesday.
And we are going to talk about...
Justin better have some stories.
And
You got any?
better have some fucking ghost on the screen.
You're going to have to wear a sheet.
Will you put ghosts on the screen? Can you put the kind with the sheets with the little eyes? That's what we want.
We're already going to have
Yeah,
those
but we
on.
want them on the screen too to help out, right?
Could you put my ghost on my trademark?
Yeah, that's a ghost. But no, hey, but let's get into that last topic we were kind of hit and miss about today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna bring up names or nothing like that, but I'm gonna be straight with you guys because you know that's what we do on the show. We're pretty upfront and we don't script anything. You know, there's people out there that can't be happy for anybody. Do you know what I mean? They can't be happy, and whether you might have slighted them 20 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever the perceived slight was, they'll come back to bite you in the ass later on. They're just some people. They go out of their way to try to fuck over a show or a fighter, or an ex-fighter, or whoever, just because they're miserable people. I mean, I can't see it. There is no show that we compete with, or we don't even compete with anybody. We have our own platform. There's nobody like us, and we do our own thing. But we will never shit on another show. We'll never shit on another show.
We did one time, but it was called.
Oh, that was called for.
Yeah,
that was called for. Them motherfuckers. But no, twice.
Okay, so.
Yeah, but that was.
But we don't.
But we don't shit on. You know what? There is a lot of room in this industry, for everybody to get a piece of the pie. There really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we have good friends. We have Christina Lopez, who just started her own show, which I think is a fucking amazing show. There's plenty of room for that. You know what I mean? And you guys got to tune into that. There are good shows out there, and we're not going to shit on a show. But in the same token, oh, Scott, it's Slipknot. But on the same token, don't shit on another show for no reason, or don't go out of your way to try to ruin
let me hit this question.
Thunder.
Dylan, Canelo looks great, looks in shape, looks ready to go.
He's 163. He looks great, man.
So nothing with the drugs or sport, all that. I think he's going to be fine.
He don't look any smaller than Triple G, does he?
Yeah, but thanks still for the question. But yeah, so keep going.
No,
I'll feed off of it.
I lost my train of thought. Fuck it, I'm done now.
No, I was going to feed off of it, but I can't.
Go ahead. Viking Herm is out raiding. He's raiding, and he's picking up some jewelry and things like that. He's going to bring some stuff back to us on the show.
He's pillaging. He's getting goods.
He's getting goods.
And making babies.
Making lots of the babies.
Making little bikes.
Making lots of babies.
No, but yeah, I mean, so where we're going with it is that there has been some shit talking going on.
There's been some bullshit even at the professional level to try to keep you from.
And I know what it is: jealousy or fear. They don't want competition, so they go and they make up stuff, literally make up stuff. And if we ever found out the truth on it, I would not be hesitant to file a damn slander suit. But so that's where we're going. It's just a shame. So we just want to let you guys know that is going on, and it's sad.
It is. And I mean, they don't hit you at a personal level. They try to hit you at a professional level by calling contacts and calling their friends and stuff, and just trying to say shit that's absolutely not true. But you know what? Like,
it's sad.
It is sad. But me and Kelly don't give a shit. We don't give a fuck. We're still going to keep doing our thing regardless, and we're going to keep moving on,
Because at the end of the day, it makes them look petty.
Yeah, exactly.
It really does.
Exactly. And you know what? We do the show for you guys. You know what I mean? So far, this show has yielded nothing financially, right?
Yeah, no.
Everything that's came out of the show came out of Kelly's pocket himself.
Y'all don't get comfortable with that shit, though.
Or shit, when we we go to fights, right?
Yeah.
We both put out for those fights and things like that. It's not free, But we do it because we want to provide the best show possible for you guys, and the best information. If we give you guys current information on a fighter or on what's going on in camp, you can bet 100% that shit is legit. It came directly from the source. We don't pass rumors. We don't pass what's the other word I'm talking about? Gossip. Third hand information, second hand. We don't do that.
Or like the shirts that we want to wear. Bullshit.
We don't have time for that. So, it was a big thing before when people were arguing about what Mikey came into his last fight with. They'll argue with that. And Mikey himself said, hey, I was 185. But still, I heard he was 163. Well, who am I going to believe? You or some bullshit article he wrote, or when Mikey came on the show and said he was 185, or when he texted us personally and said, hey, I was 185. Or even Ellie, when he's on there, who Ellie spends every fucking day with the guy.
Yeah, he does.
And it's true, I don't know. But, that's the end of our rant, stuff like that. But we're just saying, like...
Hey, Jim, I didn't know nothing of. I'm sorry, homie.
What's that?
Jim Johnstone. Thanks for coming out Friday. All the Wilson boys had a little get-together.
Did they?
Yeah.
Was that what I missed that one day, or was that something different? I don't get it.
I didn't get any invitation.
Kelly, who are the hardest working fighters right now?
I would say Lomachenko, Mikey Garcia, Spence and Crawford are always in tip-top shape.
Virgil Ortiz,
who's constantly at it.
He's always in shape.
Porter.
Usyk.
Yeah.
Vostok.
Guys that we know, that's all the Oxnard guys, all the prospects and world champs fighting out of there.
Well,
all the Eastern Europeans and the Mexican guys that are training out of there. I mean, they're all in tip-top shape.
Well, and you know what? I think a lot of that has to do with the strength and conditioning team that they have, especially the Russians. I mean, you got a guy like Cecilio Flores and our homie Roger.
Yeah.
You got these guys that are just high-level conditioning coaches, and they take these guys to another level, you know. I made the comment on Facebook today. I don't know if you agree, but I think the Russians are miles ahead of the United States when it comes to diet and fitness.
They are.
I think so. But I want to know what you thought. What do you think about that?
Because they have people that literally specialize in that field of it. You know, and they have the the updated technology and sports equipment, and we know that. You heard what Roger told us, what they're coming out with.
They wear these suits that are weighted. They wear weighted suits that shoots oxygen through.
But they do that. I mean, they're an Olympic program. Believe me, the United States motherfuckers hate us, and they want every little one step ahead of us that they could possibly get. Advantage that they could get. So yeah, they definitely are. Look at all of them. I mean, Usyk. 195 pounds and throws how many punches? 90 punches around?
90 punches around.
It's unheard of.
Steven, you guys ever think about bringing some old timers on? Of course, Steven. Yeah, that's something we'll do. You know, we have so many guests lined up. It's not like our guests are not planned out like a day out. Our guests are like pretty far out, so we go as we get them. But yeah, I think we have contact information for like James Toney and a few of the other ones we want to bring on. And we'll get to them, I promise you. You know, a lot of it's what you guys want to see. And just make comments. What do you guys want to see, or what do you want to talk about? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, you guys got to throw something out there.
Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, you have a guy like Usyk that walks around at 230, 240, and then cuts down to 200 and looks amazing.
Exactly.
I mean, that guy
ain't tired.
That guy was bigger than you when we saw him in New York, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's bigger than tight ends.
And Delilah's, and for those of you guys that know, Delilah is one of the head honchos in USA Boxing. She is so well versed in the sport. She was a team manager of the 2012 Olympic men's and women's boxing team. So when it comes to anything USA Boxing or amateur related, she's your go-to person.
Delilah, he's going to charge you later. He'll send you a check.
Oh, she's amazing. But she's your go-to person on the amateur world. She knows everybody and everything about the amateur, which is amazing. She said that starts in America. The Russian teams always have top-notch
stuff. The amateurs. It does.
And it does. But it comes back to a whole different mentality. The Russians, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, they have a different mentality than American fighters. And they look at it as they're only as strong as their weakest link on that team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And American fighters, we are taught to be independent. There's only you in the ring. That's only you and that person in the ring. So we're taught that. You know, it's dog eat dog.
Yeah.
But Russians, you're only as strong as your weakest link on that team, and that's how they train.
Stephen Kennedy says, Butterbean. Well, Steve, we can probably get Butterbean on, but if you give me 4 more months, I'll be your Butterbean on here. And then Holyfield. We can't have Holyfield on because he wants to whoop the shit out of James.
I'll fight that motherfucker. This is no fucking Chevy commercial. Fuck that dude.
Like, hey, Kelly, what's going on? No, not much. Hey, Evander, this is James Dominguez.
He knows who I am.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker. You know what? You know what an honor that would be to take an L from Evander Holyfield's old ass?
Yeah.
I've been knocked out by less fighters. I've been beat up by fighters that weren't nearly as good. Fuck it.
You may have to go fucking get another back surgery or something, dude. That dude's going to come like full force.
Yeah, I know.
You think you beat him?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm guaranteeing you what? He couldn't beat that brick or that gun I was going to pull out of my fucking car, though, was he?
Shoot him in the tip of the ear.
I will shoot that motherfucker in the tip of the dick with a fucking 9mm.
What are we talking? See, this is what we will not do that on this show.
Shoot someone in the tip of the dick?
Yes, we will not. Remember?
Oh, right. We can't shoot people in the tip of the dick. Would I fight him? You know what? My heart don't pump Kool-Aid. I would do the best I could. And I would hope you would be there to help me, Kelly.
James would be hiding behind a green screen. You see his little hand on top. Did he leave yet? Did he leave?
Yeah, he left. He's lucky.
He's getting a pump. He's over doing 450 for 6 reps. It's coming back.
Hey, did he leave yet? Yeah, he left. That's good. That motherfucker better be happy he left. I had some for his ass. He comes back in. I go back behind the green screen again. Hey, he comes in. I look like, do you remember on E.T.? Crazy. I got a call from him.
No, he called James.
He did.
And gave him the 3rd degree and like threatened him every which way. And James was calling me, asking if he'd come stay at my house.
I fucking sure did. I said, can I sleep on the floor? No, but
Tommy Hearns. Dylan, I would love to get Tommy on, but I think that might be, from what I heard, hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to get. It'd be kind of hard. He's not.
But I'm glad you guys are throwing these out there. I mean, this is food for thought.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that we could look into and see if we could get them, make the contact. So if we could get Tommy Hearns and James Toney, believe me, I know we could probably get James Toney, definitely.
And a translator.
Well, shit, you don't need one for me here.
Yeah.
But
what's the other one too? Hey, you know what? We had Michael Carbajal in. Isn't that old school fighter?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's fucking all time great.
Yeah, but I agree with them. I think
I do
start
too.
Getting a little.
I think we need to get some people, but you know what? These old timers, it's hard to get.
I'll see if I get Marvin Hagler.
Oh yeah, you have contact with him. Like he's your buddy.
Yeah,
you guys are homies now.
That's something to really start looking into.
But do not let him watch the last shows when you were talking about you beating Marvin Hagler.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did say you would have beat him.
I'm not going to tell him that on air. Why would you want to?
I'll tell him. So
why do you want to start the controversy?
Oh, you want to get me to fight with Holyfield, but now it's okay.
No, you got yourself a fight with Holyfield.
No, you're talking about now.
You guys already had your beef.
Oh, Roy Jones is easy contact, Dylan. I think I have contact information.
Punchline, Winky, that's a good one.
Kelly has information with Winky, so we can do a lot of these guys, these people. We can get a bunch of these people on. But yeah, Winky's good.
Well, I'm glad. That's something that we'll start hopping on.
We will. We'll start hopping on that for you guys.
Hop on Winky, the Hagler,
Carbajal again.
Yeah, Tony.
You know who I would love to have on? Julio Cesar Chavez. Mickey Ward.
Ooh, I can get Mickey Ward in a heartbeat.
Pernell Whitaker.
I'm friends with some. That's really him on Facebook.
No, that's not really him. Yeah, see, Mickey Ward you could get in a heartbeat.
Summers, I'm not getting Edison Miranda.
Edison Miranda's wanted by Interpol. He ain't coming around anytime soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. What, for coke?
Coke, selling coke, man.
A shitload of keys.
Money laundering and coke.
Love to keep South Avenue happy for 14 years.
No, I don't know, man. But no, you know what? You guys are absolutely right. I think bringing some of these legends on are huge. You could bring Boom Boom on. That would be good.
Vinny Paz.
Dude, we would never get to do the show. Vinny Paz would talk from the beginning to the end.
I know. I sat with him and Ray was right behind me for the Italian American Hall of Fame.
Bro.
I was bleeding.
Bro, do you know who would have been crazy to have it together in a room? Johnny Tapia and Vinny Paz.
Yeah.
You would have never got another word in, would you have?
No.
Fernando.
Vinny Paz is great, though.
Esteban.
All them guys are.
Esteban said Fernando Vargas.
I don't know why we never had that.
That's my family. We can get Fernando on anytime. That's family, man. Yeah.
Dylan reaching out for us, that'd be hard.
Yes, Patricia.
Especially after what James did last week.
We will get Chavez on for you, Patricia, if you show us your boobies.
You see that, Justin?
What's that? What'd I do?
Dylan says, Oscar, I said that's hard after what James did last week.
What'd I do? What'd I do?
Got the show shut down.
I got the show shut down by Oscar. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, but with all my respect, some of them would be very hard to understand. And you know what, Delilah? You're absolutely right.
I'm hard to understand. What do you want?
No, Delilah's right. I mean, but some of them, like Carbajal's a good little pick, and some of those other guys.
Yeah, but Ricky Wright's good.
Yeah, Ricky Wright is real good.
Mickey Ward is still good.
Joe Gooson's always good, and he's not a fighter, but I mean he's an old school trainer, and that's
Vinny Paz.
We've had Joe on.
I don't know. Yeah, Vinny Paz would be kind of hard.
Well, we got to hear about breaking his neck in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't live for this or fight for this. That was a shitty fucking movie, by the way.
Schizo. Are you involved in a rap beef?
Schizo, who's going to win that rap beef? Is it going to be...
Are you going to stand in the middle of them two gringos?
Is it going to be MGK or is it going to be Eminem? Hey, did you know... You don't want to hear a cool story about Schizo? Schizo punked out Suge Knight one time. And Suge Knight wanted Schizo to be his buddy, like back him up after a fight. Schizo tried to fight Suge Knight.
Streets,
homie, streets. Oh yeah, Does I'm looking at your guns. I don't care what you say. Are you looking at mine or Kelly's now?
Mike Tyson, that'd be a good one.
You know what? We can keep working on Mike too. I think Roger has contact info on Mike. We can do that.
Anthony James Costanzo. What kept you motivated to keep pushing forward in a Jermaine Taylor fight? He has to be one of the best boxing fights I've ever seen. I seen Taylor made the news last week for beating up a woman and holding a knife to her throat.
That's it?
Yeah, we know that dude, and we touched on that a little bit earlier, Anthony, with him. You know, we don't know if it's something above what anybody else could judge him on with health reasons, but what kept me motivated, man, I can be honest, there's a lot of things, and a lot of times, you know, I drive and I think to myself when I go back and replay the fight, and honestly, I can honestly say that for some odd reason, I knew that I was destined to be world champ. Not just saying that, and I literally worked my ass off in training. Mm-hmm. I trained, and I will to this day, I will put my training camps up there with anybody's at the top. The amount of hours and every time that I trained, and especially after the Miranda fight when nobody gave me a chance, and I went in there and did that to this monster. I knew that fight, if I get up, that I was going to win the fight. I just knew going into that fight. And I got up, I trained, I worked too hard I wasn't hurt enough to lose that fight, to put it that way.
I have a question for you, Kelly, on that. I know when I was an amateur, I remember certain fights, I could still feel the punches. I remember what they felt like, some of them, you know what I mean? Some of the bigger, do you remember that in your pro career, what the punches felt like?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, I was wondering if you could still replace them, like.
Yeah, I still walk funny from the Miranda fight.
Your molar's now a canine, isn't it?
I'll fucking stop there in the middle of the gym and be like, "Hey, yo, Mick, quit ringing that bell."
Do you remember what it was like? What it felt like when Jermaine Taylor knocked you down in the second round? Do you
remember
that?
It did. That was huge. Youngstown really helped a lot in that one. Yeah. The Taylor fight.
Yeah. Do you remember what that felt like when Jermaine Taylor? How you felt when Jermaine Taylor hit you when you went down?
Yeah, you know, I explained that. That's weird. When it's not weird, it was an equilibrium shot.
Yeah.
So mentally, I was there. I mean, I could literally point out and tell you who was screaming what.
That moment. Your legs would just say "fuck off," right?
Yeah. I mean, you guys are going to laugh, and it's true. It's like leaving a fucking bar at 3:00 in the morning. You know, after a good one, it was just one of them type things.
Justin's ever going, hell yeah.
No, it really is. But like mentally though, it was one of those things, and I knew and I really knew this. If I could get up and get through that round, I knew I had to fight. Yes. I knew it was mine, and I could actually tell you that I knew it wasn't going to the scorecards either. It's just one of them things like where I worked that hard to do it.
When did you feel him get weaker? I mean, at what point?
The third round.
I'm asking questions that I've never asked.
The third round, when I came back and threw 99 punches in that third round after getting dropped.
How many punches you throw?
99.
When I fought him, I threw 100.
Threw 99 and a half.
You remember our one-upper?
Yep, yes, threw 99 and a half. And I knew. I mean, literally, I took the soul right from him in that third round. It did. I mean, he was shot, and I could only picture what was going on in his head. Like,
did you feel?
I just did all that in the second round. I'm tired of shit. This dude just came back from getting his ass rocked, and he's beating the shit out of me.
Did you feel this? Did you feel the steam off of his punches too at that time?
Everything. With that second wind, which I knew I was experienced enough going into that.
Yeah.
And in the middle rounds, he got a little bit of that second wind back, but again, that was due to go away.
Delilah has a good question. She said, "Guns, did you ever go down in the amateurs?"
No, I did not.
I got dropped in the amateurs. I got dropped by Panchito Bojado. I got dropped on my ass.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I got dropped on my ass by Panchito, man. There's no fucking...
Who was I talking to the other day that said about losing? I heard somebody say, they lost to two really good fighters. It might have been Robert Garcia.
Oh, yeah. Diego Corrales.
He said,
he lost to Diego Corrales.
And he says, I got nothing to be ashamed about.
Fuck no. That was his highlight of his career, losing to Diego, man.
I got only 2 losses, and look who I lost to.
Delilah don't know who Panchito is?
Jim Johnstone, we're getting some of those made. We're going to hop on it.
We are. We're getting shirts made right now. They're in the process of being made, and we will put them out for you guys, the Punchline shirts. We have a few different models coming out.
Yep. We'll let you know for sure, bro.
Yeah, hey, guys, and we're going to put all the sizes in. It's going to be really cool. Training question for both of you. You are in the gym working out. Which CD is playing? Oh, my God. Yeah, you want to finish that question because my phone won't open that up.
When I was training for boxing, I really didn't care to listen
No, he's
to
saying
music.
just wait. He's saying.
Well, I put on metal station.
You know what, Esteban? Honestly, mine changes every day. I think today when I worked out, I think I had Blink 182's greatest hits on. I think it just changes.
Yesterday you told me you had classical.
No, that was yesterday, but today.
Classical?
No, I had Blink 182 today. Yesterday I had classical rock.
Dude, Blink 182 is gay as shit.
Hey, you don't even be talking shit about Blink, man.
You like Blink 182?
Hell yeah. How's that gay? Oh, you know what else I listened to today? Ramones' greatest hits. Don't even say the Ramones are gay.
Ramones cool.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ramones are
Because
cool.
I will shit all over Avenged Sevenfold. I will shit all over those motherfuckers.
Blink 182, I take that. They're not bad. They were new to. They came on the scene, did their own thing.
How are they new? You were like 5 when they came out.
They started their own thing. Though.
I know they came out like in '95. You were just little.
95. I was 13 years old.
You were a toddler.
I was 13 years old.
You were still a toddler.
I was not.
You weren't even in high school yet. But no,
I was in junior high.
It changes.
Junior high, you start body parts start forming.
You know what? It changes my music. But hey, like some days I'll listen to Slipknot. I'll listen to classic country some days. It just depends on like what do you go through, Kelly? Like what kind of music?
Billy Summer says I watch Ron Jeremy when working out.
Who doesn't watch the fucking Hedgehog when we work out? You know what I mean?
Talk about getting a pump.
Talk about pump, right? And I said, is that Ron Jeremy railing Ginger Lynn? Why, yes, it is. Somebody got to go to the bathroom and get their pump on. Is that Long Dong Silvers and Christy Canyon? Why, yes, it is.
I got Bobby Sanchez.
Hey,
who looks just like Ron Jeremy.
He does look like Ron Jeremy. When he has that little mustache going, and then he...
Delilah, yes. Actually, in the process right now, still working on it. Actually, that's what I got to do tomorrow. I'm hoping by midwinter, to be having a gym up and running, nonprofit for especially inner city kids to come train. It'll be free. They will have to have the academics at a certain level to be able to train there. They will be required to do cleaning and work for that, but they will not be charged and have the gym for whenever they want to come in after school.
Don't forget, you have the silver sneaker program for amateur boxing. You're going to have 80-years beating the shit out of each other.
Dude, you know what? That is a hell of an idea.
Having the silver sneaker?
I wonder if I could talk to a good insurance person, though, to get a good policy on that.
Hey, homie, relax. Just let the Parkinsons take over.
I may need 2,000 senior citizens to pay the insurance policy.
You know what, though? Honestly, I think Kelly will be a great coach.
You spit on my bottom lip.
Sorry, fucker. You know what? I brushed my teeth before a show, though.
I call bullshit.
I did. I brushed them. I brushed them with shit.
Did you?
Yeah. No, I also think Kelly would be a great trainer. I think he's very technical. He's a very technical guy, and I think he actually cares for the people he works with, which is huge. It's not a meat market for him. He's not trying to make money off these kids turning pro. I think he'd be great. And I think he'd have the best assistant coach in the world. What do you think?
That's a given.
Right? And I was talking about me.
Yep. And Region 5 is badass, Delilah. You know we had some badass teams.
Delilah,
especially in the late 90s and early 2000s.
It's not Region 14, Delilah. Tell him.
I said Region 5.
I said Region 14. It's not. Region 5 is not Region 14. We were 14 in California.
Region 5 put out some bad dudes.
So did 14.
Well, fuck, you guys had 9 million people.
We had 9,008,993 Mexicans on the team.
That's like the other day, last night on the commentators on the college football game were like, well, Texas, though, you got, because Youngstown, Ohio
has the most
NFL players that go. And they're talking about all these programs and states. And I'm like, well, Texas, I tell you what about that. I'm like, dude, I could fit 12 Ohios in Texas. Can you imagine if Ohio was the size of Texas? They would have to outlaw it.
Yes, but Texas is Texas.
It is.
You know what, though? When it comes to football like that, I think your best schools...
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Your schools are Texas, California, Florida, and Ohio. Those are your football powerhouses, man.
Especially, high school. Northeast Ohio, yes. All of Ohio. Cincinnati, Moeller, has good teams.
But I do. I really think he'll be a great coach. I mean, but I don't know. Right now, he's higher than 14 from the jail. Yeah, it is. Region 5 has some great talent, but I'm always going to be partial to Regional 14.
Well, you have to.
But
and there is great fighters out of that. God, how good? Obviously, there is.
And Ohio's put out some monsters, man, over the years.
This is true.
I mean, I think the greatest amateur fighter ever is from Region 5. Ricardo Williams, man. People can say whatever they want as a pro, but that dude as an amateur
Shit,
would.
for me in the 156-pound weight division just to get through the Region 5. Look who I had to fight.
I know. Dante Craig, Larry Mosley, Darnell Nicholson,
Hanshaw.
Tony Hanshaw. Well, I had to go through Tony at 147.
Yeah.
Region 14 is more Olympians.
Because Region 5, we fight at a roll weight class, though. We don't fight at minimum weight.
Oh, man.
Oh!
Oh, man.
Booyakasha! There ain't many 112-pounders in Ohio.
Sergio Estrada went as a 65. This is true.
This is true.
This is true.
It's because our guy fell out. Ruben Williams fell out sick.
Ruben Williams is too busy talking about himself in the third person to concentrate.
Oh, wait, Ruben got beat by me. My bad, Ruben. Then I beat Brandon Bush.
Is Ruben on there?
No.
I say yeah. What I heard. Here's what I heard. I heard what you did to Ruben Williams could be classified as a fucking hate crime in that fight.
It was.
It was.
Horrible. There's no hate. I love Ruben to death.
No, I love Ruben, but it was a hate crime. But Ruben won't talk about that because Ruben talks about Ruben.
I got that video too.
Do you?
I fought Brandon Bush the next night.
Anthony was really good. And you know what though? Anthony Hanshaw was an amazing amateur, but I think the deck was already stacked in his favor. No matter if you were gonna close to winning him, you weren't getting that decision because they wanted him for the Olympics.
That happened to me.
Fucking bad, man.
Delilah, I don't know if you heard about this or if she was involved with the USA.
No, she wasn't there. No.
But I was up 10-7 against Hanshaw going into the last round, 2000 Olympic trials, 10-7. And at that time, they go to the corner in between rounds and give you the score, let you know what the score is at. I was up 10-7. That last round, I thought I won that round for sure. I buckled Hanshaw.
Yeah.
It was a war. I was up 10-7, and here the final score was 13-7. Now, if you give him the fight or not, but you're going to tell me I did not get 1 point in that last round?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You buckle a guy and you don't get a point. Yeah, here's the problem, because they had a bunch of elderly men, 3 guys sitting around who all have to hit the red and the blue button within a second of each other. Give the kids that
computerized scoring system. That sucked when they brought that in. I've beat the shit out of dudes, and I come back to the corner, and it's 7-2, and I know I hit that dude with 23, 24 solid punches with the white tip of the gloves. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, I buckled Hanshaw.
Mike says Anthony was good. They pushed him hard. Well, you know what? Anthony was never the same after his stepdad passed away. Tony's father was a great fucking dude. And he was a really good coach.
He was.
I've actually went to Oklahoma City with them and competed in '95, I believe.
Yeah, Sam Harvey that came out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. I remember I sparred him.
Dude, there was so many fucking good.
He was really talented.
So many good fighters. Do you remember? I don't know. Maybe do you remember Desi Ford? Do you remember? And Jermaine Fields.
I heard of Desi Ford.
Desi Ford was good.
Desi Ford was before me a little bit.
He was my time. Desi Ford, Fred Neal.
I heard of him too.
Fred Neal was a monster. Jermaine Fields, Brian Adams out of New York City. Dude, these fucking guys were monsters.
I still got to talk to Eagle Watson about fighting James McClendon out of Youngstown.
Yeah. Oh yeah, McClendon was really good.
Yeah.
But let's. I mean, shit. We went back. Ricardo Williams, Dante Craig was a fucking monster.
He was.
That dude was on a mission on the 2000 Nationals when he fought Larry Mosley. He was on a mission. I have nothing but respect for Dante. I love that dude.
You had Larry Mosley too. Though.
Larry Mosley was a monster. Yeah. Darnell Nicholson, James Webb. He was Army team captain. James Webb would beat you to death with just volume.
He beat me
with volume. I mean, these guys.
That was my very first tournament or fight in open division too. I drew that dude. I had like 30 fights. I draw first night, James Webb.
Yeah.
And we were going at it for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And then I petered out, and that dude just hit me. He wouldn't stop punching. He threw like 200 punches around.
He did. You know what though? Like on my experience with the Army team. We were always in better shape than the majority of the teams we fought for the simple reason is we had the financial resources to be in better shape. You know what I mean?
You had to too. I mean, what else do you have to really do besides be in shape?
No, but we had the financial resources. We had a nutritionist. We had food. We had to buy our food.
Yeah.
Our uniforms. We had the best training facilities in the world. We would go to Colorado to Colorado Springs and train with the Olympic team or the U.S. national team for sparring. You know what I mean? So we were getting, when you have a blank check to do what you want, you better be in fucking better shape than everybody else, right? But also on the same token, and Delilah can say that too. Delilah can say this too. If you come in and you miss weight one time, you're going home. Yeah. You're off the team. I missed weight in Vicenza, Italy. I was supposed to weigh 156, and that was the heaviest I ever fought. And I weighed myself morning of, and I was 149. I thought, fuck, this is too easy, right? So I get on the bus for that trip from Germany to Italy, which is a 12-hour ride. I drink a liter of water because it's liters. I drink a liter of water. I have a cucumber, egg sandwich with lettuce, and I figured that's enough. I'll be fine. I got there. I was 174 pounds. And let me tell you, it wasn't the food that put the weight on me. The scale I got on was uncalibrated. I was overweight for the whole week.
That's what I say every time I go on a scale. No.
It was uncalibrated. Oh, that shit's uncalibrated. It had me at 199 today.
All right. Got you.
Oh, and Mike said Augie. Augie was a monster too.
Appreciate it.
Augie was a monster. I had plenty of fucking gym wars, that dude.
Well, we're going to wrap it up.
And we want to thank everybody for coming on the show today and commenting. I love the amateur boxing talk. I think it's a game changer. We never get to talk about that. Also, you know who we forgot to bring up before we go? Rock and Tiger, Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters.
Philadelphia.
I love them guys. And
see, that was weird on the region's work. I think next show we'll talk with Delilah because for some of them, they were in the region of Ohio, certain tournaments. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Now I could be wrong. I think the Silver Gloves, I was in the same region as them, though.
Yep.
And then Golden Gloves were in U.S. Everlast Championships.
They were different.
Region 5.
Yes, they were Region 5.
But
can you read this from Delilah? I can't pull that up. About the
one?
Nationals standing next to Lev. It's about the military team because Lev was the Marine.
No, that was okay.
Lev was the Army coach.
Yep, I was at Nationals standing next to Lev when he got called. Boxer didn't make weight. Immediately after weigh-ins, Boxer flew out.
Yep. Okay. I got to stay because I was a team captain when I didn't make weight, but I lost my captainship of the team. Even though it wasn't my fault. You're supposed to check and recheck your weight on different scales, and it was a mental mistake, and I paid for it.
You ain't telling me nothing. I don't know.
You need to get your own slot machine up in Northfield and put it next to Boom Boom.
Yeah, Anthony, you're a ball buster.
You don't even get at 1 ounce of weight in the amateur tournaments. One fight, yeah, and it's true, Simon. At the Pecan Festival in Texas, I had that problem. You don't get no love from Texas. The Pecan Festival.
Well,
but thank you, Scott. Thank you, Esteban. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and next week we'll have some.
Next week's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a really fun show,
guys. You're gonna have fun. Get your nachos, pop, beer.
Your best ghost stories.
Ghost stories, a joint, whatever tickles your pickle, and
also,
tune in.
And also, we're gonna talk boxing as well. Still,
yes,
right?
But when we go into the fun part of it, try not to overwhelm us with boxing questions because we're specifically going to be wearing ghost outfits and costumes to get into this part of the show. So if you ask a boxing question, unfortunately, it may not get answered. If you ask a ghost question or tell a ghost story,
they'll get answered.
Then we're playing, all right?
But we will make time in the last part of the show for boxing.
We're going to open up the show with boxing, and we're going to close out the show
with
boxing. But the middle part is directly ghost stories.
That's awesome. And you know what, though? Hey, guys, if you guys enjoy the show, share the show, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so you can tune into the show. So you remember, because I get a text every week from the people that's been watching the show for a year ago. What time is the show coming on?
But mainly subscribe.
Subscribe. Well, when you like a show, it sends algorithms. And how's that work, the algorithms, Justin? What's that mean? When they like a show about an algorithm, what's that? What does that mean? Yes.
When somebody's just searching boxing shows or whatnot, because we're tagged in boxing.
Okay.
Like that, so it'll populate better, so more people can find us.
Well, thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. Justin, he is our go-to guy on everything in the world. But subscribe, like, and share, and hit that bell icon for us. We're coming up. We have merchandise coming in soon.
This is true.
This is true. We'll have T-shirts and things like that coming, so we're working on that right now. We should, and we'll get everybody taken care of. So, like I said, guys, Kelly?
Thank you. Mike, yes, we remember Cleveland Quarter. Tune in again next week, guys. I'm going to say it last time, and I got to go pee. Make sure that at the beginning of the show, we're going to talk boxing, and the end of the show, we're going to talk boxing. Probably 15 and 15. I total a half hour. The middle part, we are going to be having fun. It is a show for you guys to have fun too. So just remember that. Send pictures. If you can't put pictures on their comments, huh? Too bad I didn't have a good ghost picture or costume or something.
But also too, on that too, I want to thank Rich Marotta for coming on again.
Oh, definitely.
What a treat that was, and it was it was an honor having you on.
Definitely, Rich. That was cool, and it was great to listen from his perspective. Also, like to thank Don's Automotive. Like to thank Title,
our sponsor, Title Boxing, and Get Your Money Clothing.
Get Your Money Clothing and Titles. They're great. They're great to work with and great equipment, boxing equipment.
Also, Get Your Money. Look into La Terminal. Their music. If you guys like good Spanish rap, hit them up on look them up. They have great music, and they own Get Your Money Clothing. So if you guys want to do it, that's the way to do it upright.
And next week I got a beef with Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem.
But yeah, we will in Spanish. But we will definitely see you next week, and we will get some good guests on the week after for you.
Definitely. We'll keep you posted.
Have a great week, guys.